Hi, everybody. Doug Miles along with Don Henderson as we come to you again on a beautiful Saturday here in Sarasota, the day before the Super Bowl, Don. And, of course, Don, you have a bit of a local rooting interest. Your former team that you did some work for back in the day in Philly, the Eagles against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I worked with the Eagles for a long time, and when Buddy Ryan was there, of course, we did the show together and did a lot of shows together, as a matter of fact. But I also worked with Dick Vermeil and the whole Philadelphia Eagle contingent back in the day. They're favored by 1.5 points. Everybody assumes that they have the best shot to win it. They've got a great defensive team. Howie has put together between draft choices and trades a great combination. Whether or not the quarterback, whether Jason can bring a real big game in for the Super Bowl, that'll be the story.
Hey, the Eagles, I mean, kind of quietly have built a bit of a dynasty, right? It was only a few years ago they won the Super Bowl then.
Yeah, and the other thing is that they've got a lot of young players who are going to step up. The backup players are really going to move right in. They're going to lose a couple of their veterans who are 33, 34 years of age. They're going to probably be winding down, but they've got a great nucleus coming up. So it should be, at least 2 or 3 years that they should be right up there at the top.
Again, Kansas City back to the Super Bowl again, third time, I believe, in 5, 6 years. So they have a chance to kind of build another mini dynasty for themselves.
I'll tell you, Reed did a great job in Philadelphia until he was, until they had the trouble with the quarterback, and then he finally got the job in Kansas City, and he's picked right up where he left off in Philadelphia. We're right back to the Super Bowl, and of course he has one of the 2 best quarterbacks in the National Football League. It'll be interesting to see whether that high ankle sprain is going to impede the progress of him at quarterback for this game. It looks like he's almost 100%, but high ankle sprains don't heal too quickly.
Yeah, they always use the term high ankle sprain. It's almost like a fracture.
Yes.
Just right before it becomes a fracture.
Sometimes worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but he's a young guy, still pretty resilient.
Yeah.
But they'll tape it up pretty heavily, and whatever they do to get him ready, they'll be ready. Right?
Oh, he'll be ready to go. And he played the championship game, played well, was very protective, and I think he'll do the same thing. I don't think he'll take any chances in the first half and maybe into the third quarter, putting himself in harm's way. I think he'll be very careful about what he does, and then he'll go from there.
Just from watching some of the playoff games, again, pretty evenly matched. Like you said, 1.5 points is the official spread on it. But you got to look at the Eagles, just kind of a quiet, dominant team this year, aren't they?
Boy, I'll tell you, Howie's done a terrific job between, as I say, draft choices, trades, and of course he was 100% behind Jason taking over. Hurts as a quarterback. Everybody was questioning, is the arm strong enough? Is he going to be able to make that transition? And boy, has he made it. He was hands down the most valuable player in the league until he got hurt.
Right.
He may still be MVP. I don't know whether he'll get it or not, but he may still wind up getting it.
Low scoring or high scoring game, you think?
I think it's going to be a relatively high scoring game. I'd say somewhere in the 30s, something like that, because both teams have tremendous offensive capability. And the 2 Kelsey brothers playing against each other is a very interesting story that they've made a lot of this week in the last couple of weeks. I think it's going to be a really good game, but I thought that the Eagles-49ers game was going to be really the Super Bowl. I thought that was 2 weeks ago. And
disappointment if you're a Niners fan.
Yeah, the quarterback gets hurt and there was no game.
Yeah. Well, I'll say Eagles. I thought going in before I heard about the odds and everything, I think the Eagles win by 10. I'll go by 10.
10? I don't know if it'll be that high, but I think I wouldn't be surprised. 35, 30, somewhere in that 4 or 5 points. I think it'll be a close game, but I think the Eagles are the better of the 2 teams.
And as usual, Monday morning is not only the game review, but the commercials review.
Oh,
we were talking about that at breakfast today. The expensive commercials just keep going higher.
$6 million for 30 seconds. $16 billion are going to be bet on this game. $16 billion.
That they know about.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, between the National Football League collecting and all the states around the country collecting on gambling, I mean, they found themselves a home run.
Yeah.
I mean, gambling has become the story of the country.
Well, despite all the problems the NFL has had, even just from PR, when the Super Bowl comes around, it all seems to go away.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Nobody
boy.
cares about that.
Nobody cares about that. Nope. And imagine $16 billion.
That's through books, legal books.
Oh,
who knows about the
the illegal stuff. Yeah, that's right.
Well, that'll wrap it up for this kind of quick edition on the Super Bowl. And again, Don, next week we're going back to get our credentials. It'll be spring training time, so we'll be coming to you from the ballpark.
Yes, it will. Ed Smith Stadium, and we'll be there for Baltimore. Will be rolling in, and pitchers and catchers will be there when we pick up our credentials next week, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you again.